what's up, guys? This is Gabriel C/Domain. I'm here with Carlos
Yosh.
and Karina
Hello.
for episode 4 Bookshelf, tentatively titled Uncivil Discourse. Carlos, what's on our agenda today?
Well, we have a lot to talk about, but I know there's a certain movie you won't keep shutting up about, so why don't we just get that over with?
Yeah, so any of you other guys have seen Civil War yet?
Karina?
Sorry.
Nah, not yet. Probably this weekend.
Okay, so I guess it's obviously this movie's
Spoiler
popular.
free.
Spoiler free. Oh, all the good stuff's in spoilers. Spider-Man's awesome. Black Panther's
Spoil
awesome.
away. Spoil away because it's been too long.
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks, and everyone who cares has already heard about it by the time this comes out.
Also, it's probably not going to be like the comic book anyway, so... Okay.
No, it's not like the comic book. This one's actually good.
I don't know. I still kind of miss that Cap is not dead.
This is true.
That could have been a perfect time to transition to either Sebastian or Howard Mackie.
Yeah, but I kind of like that in this movie. The stakes didn't need to be raised, and the only thing that was killed was the Avengers' unity.
This is true. This is true, and at a critical point too, because we're almost near the finish line for them.
Yeah.
So
And-
we're getting into Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly. But like as a story on its own, this one's really great. In a lot of ways, this movie plays out like how I've always wanted an X-Men movie or any other team movie to play out, in that even though the movie is ostensibly about Captain America's internal struggle to save his friend and and his conflict with pretty much the governments of the world and how to deal with supervillainy, this movie is able to showcase every other character we've seen so far, have them mean something, have moments that mean something, and not just be a person who has some powers and just gets pieced out, like what's happened in most X-Men movies.
Or what should have happened with the Vision. I heard he got pieced out very quickly. For someone
Yeah.
who's
Yeah, one thing about in many of the fights, he either shows up late or he just kind of doesn't show up anymore.
Mm.
So that's one piece of the fight choreography where it's like, hey, where's Vision? Otherwise, with everyone else, Spider-Man included, you know where everyone is. You have a little mental map in your head of what everyone's doing.
and he felt forced. That he felt forced in.
No, pretty much it felt like every other member of Tony's team pretty much jumped in for their own reasons. Spider-Man jumped in because, well,
Marketing.
he needs money.
Marketing.
No, he needs money.
Marketing.
No, that's like Spider-Man needs money. Because Tony gave him an impromptu invitation to join him at Stark Industries to give him a grant. You know, superhero related.
In return, you gotta help me stop a living legend.
Yeah, it's got in return, all you got to do is punch Captain America in the face. And he had a great many opportunities to both punch and kick Captain America in the face.
And he's like 13 in this movie, right?
Yeah,
You
comic
don't need to
accurate.
pay him to do it.
Yeah, exactly, comic accurate. This is more of an internship deal with the Avengers. But like they capture a lot of that earnestness and the talkativeness that I've missed out of many of the Spider-Man movies.
Well, no, you gotta admit, Andrew Garfield captured that part of Spider-Man.
Yes.
Even if he couldn't do Peter Parker justice.
But here, yeah, he's here, living in Queens with his hot aunt, fighting crime. I mean, implied to fight crime.
I mean, we
And-
never see him, but yeah, it's implied that Spider-Man just showed out of nowhere. And like, did he ever say where the hell was he during the battle in Manhattan?
Running in fear because he didn't have powers until 6 months before the current movie.
Oh, all right. I just felt like the way you describe it, it does feel like almost a tiny abridged version of his conflict with Tony and Steve over the proper Civil War.
No, straight up. This is one of the things about the movie. Everybody is wrong for good reasons. Hell, Tony is wrong for straight up using this kid in the first place.
Yeah, he pretty much conscripted a sharp shoulder. But it's better than supervillains.
Yeah, actually, this movie is good in that it actually has no supervillains. No one shows up with no one shows up with the fancy suit making stuff worse for everyone. The real
unless your
problem
name is
with,
Crossbones, and then you're.
yeah, more or less actually. Other than him, there are no supervillains in this movie. The real problems are pretty much the problems that this team has had from jump. In that Tony's kind of falling apart, and he kind of wants the government to make it all better by giving up responsibility to them. Cap doesn't want that to happen because he has a sense of great responsibility. Also,
He
if Hydra
doesn't trust the government because Hail Hydra.
Yeah, because if Hydra can do it, who else can do it? So this is why we gotta trust our super people to do whatever they please.
Although you have to when I say conscript the supervillains, and you said okay, there's no supervillains, you have to give pause to a little bit because Marvel keeps wasting all of their good villains, with the exception of maybe one or two. We'll really never get a good Thunderbolts.
You can get a good Thunderbolts out of this movie at least, because you have Zemo. Zemo stays alive. He's not.
No. That was the second one.
Also for Thunderbolts, they could use other secondary characters that they haven't used yet. Because Thunderbolts is what? Zemo, Moonstone, Screaming Mimi.
Mimi.
But they have other characters they could jerry-rig to be theirs. Because, come on, Avengers, say, at peak Perez was like, what, 40 dudes?
Yeah, but...
So...
40 dudes coming out of nowhere.
So they could shift around supervillains that haven't been used yet, or secondary people who have been good in some of the other properties to be used here. Like I've heard with Luke Cage, they're using Diamondback, who showed up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, good.
And they're using original Diamondback. Most people who are of Diamondback think, hey, isn't he a girlfriend who's kind of like Captain America's?
Are you talking about like his old nemesis?
Yeah, this is a different Diamondback. Pretty much, you're thinking Diamondback who's a woman, who's Captain America is like Catwoman.
No, I'm thinking about his homie Will Stryker, the guy who got Luke in jail in the first place.
Yeah, he's in the show.
Oh, okay. Because I know he turns into a supervillain once Luke gets out.
And then he gets himself killed, and it's like, oh man, it's kind of pointless. Oh man.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about there was the supervillain who was basically an evil pimp. Was it Cottonmouth?
Yeah, Cottonmouth is evil pimp.
I hope he shows up. I hope he shows up even for a minute.
I thought Cottonmouth was for some reason I thought Cottonmouth was like a regular pimp that he usually pumped for information. I vaguely remember reading it when I read the Luke Cage and Iron Fist thing that Matt got me.
So we're 2 minutes in, right? Let me ask. What about Black Panther? We all know he's good, but did he really carry the movie?
Black Panther is amazing, compelling. His subplot is pretty much him both fighting and observing Captain America and Iron Man fight and realizing, yeah, I don't want any piece of this, and I'm going to grow beyond it.
So just like regular Black Panther.
Yeah, a part of it, a good part of the movie is pretty much him, just after fighting them, observing them fight and realizing what his main problem is, and he meaningfully contributes to the resolution.
One final question: do you think Marvel can do no wrong? A lot of the concern was that this movie was going to be very gluttonous, considering this was a Captain America movie, and then it turned into Avengers 2.0.
Yeah, this is Avengers 2.0, but the movie as a whole is able to showcase everyone, and everyone matters, and everyone has moments where you're able to see them show moments of character, and even growth from the previous movies. This feels like a good continuation.
Oh yeah. Well, I was still concerned that this could have been a perfect vehicle for Cap alone. He has enough of a starting lineup of characters that he can just carry a film by himself.
Yeah,
without doing
real talk, Carlos. This is like smashing all your toys together. You're not taking that away from me.
Do you think this is a good movie as a jump off point, as an introduction into like what these characters should really be done right based off the comic books, that it's a good introduction to get people interested into the broader universe, so that there's going to be like more TV spin-offs, more comic spin-offs?
I can't judge it on that level. I'm sorry. Like, I'm too
Oh
invested.
man.
I watched all these goddamn things to this point, so I can't jump in with a fresh head about that. That's not.
Yeah, but you
That
can
is not.
say,
That is not happening.
but
This
you can
movie,
talk to like,
this
is the characterization better here?
the characterization is good here and is held consistent throughout all these movies. Also, everyone that shows up has moments where you see who they are and why that matters, and they don't just show up, use their powers, and leave. So, like,
That being said,
yeah,
it is recommend like if you want to get into this film,
you could probably see Winter Soldier
it
and
is highly recommended you see Winter Soldier first.
Winter Soldier, then Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, in order to get the gist of this. And then if you want to explore the characters deeper, you can go into the other films. But those are the only two necessary in order to understand this film. Otherwise, it's just like it's a bunch of superheroes fighting for one dude. And speaking of said dude, I'm going to end it off with this. Is Civil War as good as the Winter Soldier?
That's a hard question to answer because they're good in different ways. Winter Soldier is like a great payoff for a lot of the character conflict you've seen over and over again. But Winter Soldier is more cohesive. But this movie is just like it's able to pay off in a lot of ways as an action movie that Winter Soldier was just not able to do.
I like to get into the discourse, but we should move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of comic books, a couple of weekends ago was Free Comic Book Day. Did anyone attend? Nope. I guess I was the only one who woke up that Saturday.
So
Yeah.
what's your call?
I called. I told everybody, like, this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Go to your local comic book and get free comic books. I even invited you, Karina. I was like, hey, come with me. I'll get you free comic books.
I can't go out with you in public, dude.
That's right. We have to go. No, we have to go out in two separate teams. I will wear a mustache, and you wear a hat, and then we get like two separate comic books. And then I come back as Senor Machiko, and then I get another pair of comic books. That's how it works. That's how you disenfranchise the man.
So, Carlos, what was your haul then?
My hold down actually was very light this year because I did not give two shits about any of the big two's events. DC had absolutely nothing because they were preparing for their big rebirth. But that's something for another 10.
We could talk about their new logo.
The new logo. It's a little bit too industrial for my tastes. I always thought the thing with the star, the DC with the shining star that curves around like a rainbow or a comet, I thought that was a pretty good logo.
Yeah, sadly they lost that logo to the shoe company, DC, this skater shoe company.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they can't, as long as like that other company still exists, they can't ever have logos with stars in them because they didn't copyright that shit.
Once again, gotta love the adorable incompetence of DC Comics. But we're not here to talk about DC Comics.
But I do like the new logo in that it's really more easily remixable as opposed to the pseudo 3D thing that they had going with the stretch away sticker logo.
That was kind of horrible, and it felt too corporate. It felt like they were trying to be more mobile friendly in the way they design stuff. Like Marvel has a very perfect minimalistic thing. It is a red block with their name on it. Sometimes they have a giant M, but that's it.
They haven't had that giant M since the 90s, I think.
I
Yeah.
remember they had some like around early 2000s, but then they dropped it once the Marvel brand became solidified.
You mean valuable?
You mean lucrative?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. No, okay. Basically, in a quick end, I got Valiant Comics 4001 primer, and I say that was
Hmm.
kind of disappointing because I was expecting going in to learn more about the world of Rai and New Japan, which is a space colony in the year 4001, and all I got was just a few snippets, a prologue of the upcoming storyline. So if anyone wants to hop into Rai, it's better to find the first volume of the comic book rather than hop on 4001.
Hmm.
They also had previews for the new Archer and Armstrong, which I already have. Divinity 2, which of course you can get attached if you like Divinity 1. And Fate, which I think was the only comic book. No, Fate and the new Bloodshot, which I thought was the only comic book that was introductory to new readers. Because all you needed to know about Fate was just a couple of pages. She's psionic, she's fat, she's a comic book nerd, and she's the only genuine superhero in the entire Valiant universe. That's why she has her own comic. Uh, yeah, I don't think the Valiant one was as introduction friendly as possible. Next one I got was Street Fighter V from Udon, and surprisingly, this one is actually kind of entertaining. It's almost like all the story elements that you actually expect in the goddamn game shows up here.
Oh, so this. Wait, so this is actually a complete comic as opposed to incomplete one?
Kind of. It's 5 short stories highlighting matchup between characters. It has Rashid defending a piece of Arabian technology from Charlie Nash, who's working for the Illuminati. It has a fight between Laura Matsuda and Sean, back when he was a judoka, before he started playing basketball. It had a fight of it had a funny little fight between Karine and Birdie over a seat in an airplane. And finally, no, that's it. It was just 4. It's just a tiny little primer into the world of Street Fighter V, but the more satisfying stories were the ones that actually revealed a lot more to the characters in Street Fighter V. And I'm guessing the more we wait for the upcoming story mode, the more disappointing it's eventually going to be. Because it's Capcom. They don't know short story for shit. Finally, the one last comic that I got could be either the most offensive thing I ever read or the most interesting thing I've ever read. It is called Bruce Lee, The Dragon Rises. It is co-written by Shannon Lee and Jeff Klein, and it has one of the most ridiculous stories I've ever heard. Okay, what do you know about the last days of Bruce Lee?
I think he took a medication and got a brain aneurysm and died.
Yes, that is what we know. According to this comic, that is a lie, or possibly a lie.
Is this an Elvis thing?
Yes, because in the year 2012, some government agency had a tiny bit of frozen yogurt or frozen block where they held human bodies. One of them looked a lot like famous martial artist and actor Bruce Lee. Next thing you know, this Bruce Lee lookalike is wandering around North Hollywood, California, picking fights with dojos, questioning the fashion choices and modern technologies of the youth, and then teaming up with what I'm going to call not Jim Kelly, who is a retired cop with an afro, and tells him, I'm your best friend. And by the way, you're Bruce Lee. People thought you were dead, but I knew you were alive. People call me crazy. Also, there's a government agency after pseudo Bruce Lee, so I'm guessing either he's a clone, he's the real thing, or something is going on. It's a very engaging mystery, but like, it's just weird. When I expected Bruce Lee comic book, I expected like about one of his characters or a Bruce Lee-esque character from one of his movies. Here it is. Oh shit! Here it is actually trying to imply that this is the real life Bruce Lee in essentially a modern spy movie. If you can understand that.
So is this Born Identity with more Lee?
Yeah. Born Identity with a little bit of Captain America Winter Soldier. Like,
Don't tell me Bruce Lee destroys the helicarrier with the power of his bare hands.
I hope so. This is the 0 issue. So apparently this comic has been out for a while. And you know what? I'm going to try getting into trades, but I just think it's kind of weird. For Bruce Lee, he's always been like this kind of sacred figure. So I don't know. I always get merchandise of him, knowing that he's been dead long before I ever met him. So yeah, merchandising Bruce Lee is just mostly merchandising his iconography, but it's sort of weird to like market Bruce Lee comics, Bruce Lee tea, Bruce Lee official Bruce Lee creamer, official Bruce Lee bottled water, a Bruce Lee mobile game, and like when do you draw the line between continuing his legacy and catching in on his face?
Around the point where people stop buying.
Yeah, and no, people are not gonna get enough of Bruce Lee ever.
I don't know, man. This is what America runs on.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, why do you think we have President's Day mattress sales for a reason? You think Abraham Lincoln felt that strongly about both freeing the slaves and 50% off these mattresses?
That'd be ironic. That'd be ironic if he did. Like, oh my God, this mattress was so soft. Where do you make them? Cotton.
Oh God.
Lots and lots of cotton from the South. Oh.
So let's round up. That's it for your haul?
That's it for my haul. I mean, I guess the last thing I could talk about is the Attack on Titan anthology, but there's nothing to write home about. It's a bunch of random American writers writing about Attack on Titan.
So is this a novel or a comic book?
It is a short anthology comic book. It even has Evan Dorkin. And you know what's weird? Evan Dorkin actually gets the comic book. He has this hilarious ass short about Eren trying to bite his hand to turn into a Titan, and he keeps biting and biting, and nothing happens, and it turns out he ate Mikasa's arm.
Oh.
And like, Evan Dorkin wrote this? I thought Attack on Titans would be below him. And nope. This man is a genius.
America might be the best thing to happen to Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you were mentioning something about the lowering appreciation value of Attack on Titan in Japan.
Not especially. I mean, they have those. They have more than one live action film.
There's another one?
Yeah, there was part 1, which came out last year in Japan. Part 2 is in production.
Oh. And they still haven't done the second season, but why?
Why not?
I thought the fad is over with.
Nah, man.
And you told me that Terraformers is the new hot thing.
We'll wait and see on that. It just came out in April in Japan. There's no Blu-ray, DVD, no release dates for United States. but it should be good. Director is Beat Takeshi.
Yes.
The cast is all good. They're all veterans who've done this a million times before, and they're all just great actors and people. So, despite the cockroaches, I'm really looking forward to Terraformers.
What advantages Terraformers has over Attack on Titan?
Attack on Titan is written for preschool kids, and Terraformers is more seinen.
So, do you think Terraformers would have the same amount of success as the Attack on Titans? Because despite the lack of material that new material we're getting, Americans are still stuck on that. You see nothing but people dressed as Survey Corps members or the giant Titan that has no relevance anymore.
Oh, come on. That costume is cute. That costume is the best thing to come out of Attack on Titan.
Are we talking about the first Titan that busted the wall open, or the other one of the that the lady was?
The iconic guy, the big guy that had a lot of steam.
The one that busted the walls.
The one that busted the walls.
Yeah, he's the most iconic thing. He's pretty much the mascot of that goddamn thing.
Plus, in Japan, there's this guy. There's this guy from SMAP who has a skit where he dresses up as him, and there's this cute little dance that he does, and it's actually hilarious. And it's like a pop culture thing where like little kids in kindergarten are doing that song.
Oh wow!
And dance.
So, I'm guessing they told them.
Japan made him cute. Japan made that guy who busts walls down adorable.
So they told me the way they told them. Bertold is never going away.
Meanwhile, America is stuck on the teenage angst angle because we're all infantilized little kids. And we go around.
Especially if your name is Scott Snyder. Oh, I'm sorry, Zack Snyder. Scott's the good one.
No, why don't you, I thought you'd be more creative with your derogatory names. Why don't you call him Sulk Snyder then?
No, that feels demeaning to anyone who sulks. Especially me. I sulk a lot. No, that's insulting. Take that back.
Whatever. Emo little preteen.
I'm not emo. I just have no emotions.
Because superhero fandom, it's pretty much widespread. We have the little kids, then we have a lot of older audience who they're watching the movies, they're keeping track of the comics.
Then you have those angry 30 and 40-year-olds who are screaming, "My childhood!" every 5 seconds.
Then you have, anime, where you have neckbeards and
otakus.
High school kids.
And no, you forgot an important audience. The ever-growing girl audience or girl-like audience.
High school kids covered.
Oh, no. They're like 20, 30-year-old women just picking up stuff like Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, Lumberjanes. If it's a positive, affirmative comic book, they'll get it. Even if they don't actually read it.
Well, those are the yaoi fans. All of that stuff that you're seeing from them, that's just smokescreen to hide their creepy sexual fantasies.
Oh my god, 4chan is right. Girls don't buy comic books.
Whatever, man.
No.
It just insults like a highly, sensitive, well-informed, mature part of the comic book audience. Go ahead. Well, and all those little 6-year-old girls who are looking for a good role model. Go ahead.
Pick one. There's like tons of them. It's just good role model doesn't always translate into multi-million-dollar making role model.
Wait, are we making a good role model to Kim Kardashian comparison, or a good role model to one of the bad comic books comparison. I don't know where this is going.
Bad comic
What's
books.
the difference?
I don't know. I'm asking.
It's more like if a comic book has to sacrifice entertainment appeal and good storytelling in order to um, just appeal to one set of demographics, then I don't really consider it worth a positive role model. It's not a positive role model if it's basically diverging your audience instead of grabbing everybody. You know who I think is a positive role model? Kamala Khan. She, I think, is one of the few successful mass appeal female role models, as opposed to someone like, say, Squirrel Girl, who they're turning into. I'm awesome because I talk to squirrels and I'm a girl and I'm awesome and you just gotta deal with it. Put on glasses. Whoosh.
Every
That's
little
not-
girl should watch Kite. That was the best female role model I had.
Kite.
Oh,
Kite.
I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. A lot of things happen to her life before she gets awesome. A lot of very traumatic things.
God damn it! Now you got me peaked. I actually want to see this now.
Oh, I'm not sure you want to.
It can't be any worse than the reverse of this. Madoka Magica. It's just like.
Oh, you shut up.
No, it is. It's a
Madoka
little
is
girl
a
with a perfectly
god.
nice life, and then horrible things happen to her in order to be a wonderful role model. So she thinks.
Every girl in that is awesome. You shut up.
That is a very, very disturbing anime, though. That I think that scarred my brother for life, right, Fernando? Madoka Magica, don't you love it? Exactly.
Well,
It scarred him for life so much that he forgets.
you know what? It's not your fault if you looked at the Uro Butcher wrote and directed it. So if you don't know what Song of Saya is, or if you don't know what Nitro Plus is, then you deserved what you got.
That's true. So, speaking of deserving what we get, so we finally deserve to talk about a nice book. It's been a while since we talked about Euro comics. Gabe, you've been wanting to talk about Valerian for a while now.
All right, so the book that I chose is one that's going to be adapted into a movie pretty soon, and this is, I think, the third one in their series. And in English, this one's called Valerian and the Empire of 1,000 Planets.
Sounds a lot like the Techno Mages.
Well, it's not. While it is European, it's not written by Jodorowsky like many of the books I've exhibited on the show. This book was done in about 78.
Wow, that's like around Mobius time.
Yeah, and a lot of the designs that were here. Oh wait, this is 71. But some of the designs that were here influence some of the Star Wars stuff.
Nice.
In here, there are certain scenes like when our main character. There are two main characters, Valerian and Laureline, and they're space cops who protect all of time and space. And in this story, they go to a certain planet that hasn't been mapped yet, and so they're just going in and finding intel on the planet. And several aspects of the story show up in the various Star Wars movies as an influence. Among them is our main character Valerian gets frozen in a block, and in a large block, something similar to when Han Solo got frozen in a block of carbonite. There's
I always thought that the main influences George Lucas took for Star Wars was Buck Rogers, the Seven Samurai.
Well, there's more influences that can happen.
Huh. So right now we're up to the so-called Empire Strikes Back volume of Valerian.
Well, it's not quite an Empire Strikes Back, but pretty much aspects of this get called back. Aspects of this are reflected in Empire Strikes Back, even in Revenge of the Sith, and even in Revenge of the Sith, and in the Phantom Menace, in certain alien designs and designs of some of the villains.
Hmm. What is the key difference between this and Star Wars? Star
Well,
Wars is a grand space opera fantasy.
yeah, this is kind of different. This is a space adventure. These are space adventures or time adventures in this case, space and time adventures that are more self-contained, in that Valerian and Laureline, they go to either a specific place in Earth's history or to another planet altogether. They have their adventure and kind of leave. It's kind of
Huh!
like it's kind of
Star Wars
more
Doctor Who.
yeah. It's more Star Trek in that sense, and
Or a bit like Firefly Cowboy Bebop.
yeah. It's more an adventure of the week kind of deal. So in this particular story, they go to a place called Srite, and it's a capital of an empire of 1,000 planets. And they've got a big ass castle, and people have been ruling there forever.
Huh.
And they have like exotic jewelry, exotic weird little people, but they have these they have a kind of priest class called the Enlightened, and they've been getting steadily more powerful as the empire has been slowly declining.
Wow.
So with this as the preface, this is where our heroes pretty much, tell the superiors, "Hey, we're at this planet. We're gonna check on it to see if they're willing to be friends of Earth, and we're gonna just jump onto the planet and see what's going on."
How's it go?
Well, from there, they head into the capital city, and they find a clock, and things start going south just immediately.
Hold up. I'm getting flashbacks to the Prince of Persia, Hourglass of Time. This clock wouldn't have any chrono powers, would it?
Oh, no, not even.
Oh, okay.
Is it like an action adventure type of thing, or like a cop show kind
It's
of
an
thing?
action adventure. It's an action adventure type of thing.
Mm.
Because while they do have adventures, where they go to find a specific criminal, and they're chasing after him through time and space, some of their adventures are pretty much straight up. We're going to another place. It's all weird. We're gonna go punch him in the face and go home.
Classic Star Trek.
Exactly. So
So,
pretty much, what causes their problems is not that this clock. It's not that the watch is special in any way. It's that she knows is that she knows what it does, because apparently on that planet, all of the races of the Empire, they have an internal sense of time, and they already know these guys are from Earth, so they try to kill them immediately.
Of course.
And the adventure gets weirder from there. The art,
The artwork kind of reminds me of the not so much Lucky Luke.
yeah,
Its,
it has
roughness.
the art style has like a lot of really tall gaunt characters. The
But
color,
not hilarious cartoonish like Lucky Luke.
yeah,
More like in the 70s, people weren't fat, kind of skinny.
yeah, there's that kind of thing going on here. The designs of the cities in this comic, they look very more like a Mediterranean kind of place, and most of the tech looks like, really big boxes and type of deal going on. The colors are more like they're like more earth tones and watercolors. They're not really deep or have a lot of the more modern effects with the way that you kind of have color gradients here anymore.
Yeah, it has it almost borders between watercolors and water-based markers.
Yeah. So like,
Where they layer. There's a shot with a bunch of creatures, and you can tell, okay, maybe they have some gradients, but closer detail, you know that those gradients was the original base color, and then they layered color until they got the effect that they wanted.
yeah.
Very beautiful stuff. Europeans can color like no tomorrow.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, this comic looks kind of like standard if you're used to the kind of European look where you have, distinct colors, a very strong grasp of anatomy.
Uh-huh. On the
Uh,
other hand, it's still kind of, in a way, it's still kind of different from most Euro comics that I've seen, because it does borrow a lot of the bold graphic look of the early comic books. There are some pages that are composed. You could have swore that this guy looked at Kirby.
yeah, there's some Kirby-esque stuff. I feel that more strongly when I look at the designs of the spaceships that are here, and in the space-based parts of the episode.
Oh, and you are not kidding about the Star Wars reference. Holy shit. Although part of these ships, they look more like they come from Star Trek, because they're not as rough or dented or military. They're more like organic, more soft, because they belong to civilians.
Yeah.
Like they're part of a civilization, rather than this is the Millennium Falcon, this is a TIE fighter, this is the Naboo ship. Not, iconic. More like practical.
Yeah.
And you were saying, Gabe?
Yeah. Yeah. You're pretty much just echoing what my thoughts were actually. That
And okay, I saw a couple of influences from Aliens too.
Yeah. So like, it in some ways it's both a product of its time and it's a bit ahead of its time. Because
Yeah,
the color choices and story choices are all very much still in that mindset of being really, really Buck Rogers-esque. But the designs of the enemies and of the world around them is really what grabs the imagination.
well, you're saying that this, well, from what I'm doing my research, this comic book has extended to a kind of a big franchise. Not as big as say maybe Witch, or there was another, or Tintin.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing several animated series, maybe one particular anime that was developed from French and Japan. And it's not, like you mentioned, it's an upcoming movie.
Yes. Yeah, with Luc Besson directing.
Was he the guy who did the Fifth Element?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And who's the
Yeah.
production behind that movie? When is it going to be out?
Last I've seen that it's shooting for a release next year of January 4th, 2016. Wait. It's not even done yet. I'm thinking optimistically it's gonna 21st of July 2017.
Unfortunately, if rumors are correct, they already casted their stars, and
Yeah, they're already cast. They have
Dane DeHaan as Valerian? Seriously? That little punk? Nah, I don't see it. They should have got if they were gonna go for Teen Titans, maybe Taylor Lautner, or
no,
or
it's not.
someone physically capable. This dude looks like a Han Solo type. Dane DeHaan, more like Luke Skywalker. And I don't even know who Cara Delevingne is.
Let's see. Looking up on IMDb. Yeah, she's done Pan, the Peter Pan movie. Anyone saw that?
No, everyone kind of
she was
skipped
in
that.
she was in Paper Towns. You saw Paper Towns, Karina? You saw Paper Towns? I don't know.
Not to my recall.
We gotta wonder if they're gonna use the unknown actors mostly mostly to keep the script stronger, or they're gonna try changing the script in order to fit the actors.
Yeah, because
What is a
here
production?
I
Is it
think
a European production or an American production?
the production company looking for it, looking for it, looking for it. It
Because
looks to be produced in Europe.
Oh, thank God.
yeah, it's definitely not a Hollywood production. That should be interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
that is one thing that I'd like to see more. Like, I really like to see more European out there comic books get their share. Like, if we could get a movie of any of Jodorowsky's movies of his comic properties, they'd be amazing. He could even produce because he is a filmmaker himself who has like cult classics to his name.
But that needs serious bank. You've seen those paintings. You've seen the comic book.
Yeah, they're very fast worlds that require a lot of budget.
Oh yeah, no, and you're basically gonna ask like, hey, oh actually, I just thought of something. If Jodorowsky goes to Fox, who is kind of seriously hurting now that they no longer have their Star Wars thing, and say, hey guys, I have one of the comic books that kind of inspires Star Wars. Want at it? Well, on
I
the
don't
other
know,
hand, it
man.
is Fox.
Yeah, they would probably kill him for being a communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like for this movie, it's gonna the production company that's producing it in this country is a company called EuropaCorp. So it's not like New Line or Miramax or any of
Oh,
those are
thank
being its
God.
distributor. So like they're doing that's all being done from Europe. So they're both bankrolling and distributing it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's gonna get a huge run in theaters
So
at
it's gonna be
all.
another cult classic in the veins of Dread or Dylan Dog.
You watched Dylan Dog with me, like I didn't remember that much.
I kind of liked it. I thought it wasn't that bad.
Dread I thought could have been a much bigger movie in just that it wasn't promoted properly.
No, that's what killed it. It wasn't promoted properly. It was during the dirt of superhero movies,
What
and
dearth?
people still
It was in the thick of it. It just like they just didn't feel a lot of confidence in
yeah,
the
but
property.
it got lost in the thick of it. And it was like, oh, it's an action movie. Wait, wasn't there another action movie? Oh yeah, that Punisher one. Yeah, fuck that. It looks just more like the Punisher. Hey, isn't it a guy who used to be Sylvester Stallone? Yeah, fuck that guy. Do you feel like oh, do you feel like the movie could do the book justice? Do you think the characters are engaging enough to grab audiences, regardless of the origin?
I guess I have more confidence in Luc Besson's handle on filmmaking and character from The Fifth Element
Oh yeah.
among many of his other films like Lucy, that I think he can be able to capture what makes this comic so compelling to bring it to the world.
Well, in the case people want to try to catch up on this comic book, is there ways that are there volumes available in America?
Yes, they are. They've been released in the United States.
Are they gonna have a special big marketing push for the movie next year? Or is the release of the movie only in Europe next year?
It's releasing in the it's releasing simultaneously, effectively. Pretty
nice.
much, it looks like
I'm sorry, I hate to
Israel-
interrupt this, but I actually have a picture of the cast from Entertainment Weekly in full armor.
yeah. But it's going to be released in Denmark, Israel, Germany, and then in the Czech Republic on the 20th of July. Then the next day, France, Ireland, Romania, and the United States are going to get it released. So effectively, it's kind of going to be a simultaneous release all over the world.
I didn't hear China in there.
Yeah,
Come on,
I guess
that's
they let a limited amount of movies into China, into the Chinese market.
and it almost always be the big blockbusters.
Yeah,
But
that's
I think China's a given. Oh my god, the costume design though. This looks phenomenal. I'm liking this. Although I said the same thing about Ender's Game, and look what happened there.
no, that game. Ender's Game was an awesome looking movie. The story was just weak.
Awesome looking movie, yeah. And I'm guessing this is also from the same comic book. Wow. I thought that, they were still in production, but no, we're almost there.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
It's officially called Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
Yes.
I assume this is the first volume?
No. The first volume. The first volume is more a time travel story where they go back into the United States in 1997, but it's not 1997 like we know it. Remember, this is 1971. So, in the story,
In the year 1997, the
Yeah,
year of the future.
yeah, New York City is flooded up to hell.
Yes.
So they gotta go.
Wait, what
find
part of New
a
York?
super criminal from their time that escaped into the past.
What part of New York City?
It's like you weren't here for Sandy.
Exactly.
I know, but Brooklyn was kind of spared.
You haven't memorized which hurricane zone you live in? Pay attention to the map.
All I know is that every time New York is destroyed, it's always exclusively to Manhattan, and we never know what happens to Brooklyn. So I'm going to assume that we became autonomous and regress into a feral society.
So same as usual?
Yeah.
But yeah, the first volume is called The City of Shifting Waters, and it's about pretty much them trying to get a super criminal that escaped into the past.
Do you need to read a lot of the series in order to understand the movie, you think? At least the volume
I don't
that they
think
base the
so
movie off of?
because pretty much this is only the second volume that was in the thing. So other stuff that would likely be in the movie, given that it's such an early part of their stories, they probably only really throw in other aspects or blend other aspects of other subsequent stories in here, or have some throwbacks. But other than that, I don't think they'd have it. I don't think they'd go deep into the lore because they're not that deep in that part of the story.
According to Luke Besson, from his very first social media post, he said it is based on the comic book, and he's been a fan since he was 12 years old, but is not particularly based on any story. So this may be an original tale just to introduce audiences.
It might be a blend of stories. He might take parts of Empire of 1,000 Planets. He might take the third story called Welcome to Alpha Lol, or he may take parts of the City of Shifting Waters. So aspects may be taken in to make this movie cohesive. So.
And I also heard Rihanna's going to be in it.
Yes, she's one of the characters.
Oh, they're actually picking up something. So
hopefully that will really help with the U.S. distribution.
Yeah, they have several top shelf stars that are here, and I really have a lot of confidence in the cast and the production that this is going to be amazing.
So you know what? First thing, I think this is the first movie we're actually going to hop on premiere to. The Marvel and the DC movies, we can wait a week, but this one, yeah, I want to see first day.
Well, 21st of July, you know when it's happening. And if you want to read the Valerian books, they're available on Amazon for about $10 to $12 for each volume translated into English.
And each volume is a perfect jumping on point for any fan.
Yeah, a lot of the stories are pretty self-contained, so you can be able to just jump in because they're not as continuously serialized as American ones are.
Wow. Thank you, Gabriel, for introducing this to me. I'm actually probably going to buy one of the volumes first before going to see the movie. But the movie looks spectacular. I cannot wait for this.
Well, thank you very much. Part of why I wanted to see this is that I really enjoy what the American comic book audience is able to have with our movies that are able to explore our characters in different ways and to expose them to a new audience. But the franchise does not have that at all. It's much rare for them, so I'm glad we're able to share that.
Yeah, yes, we are. So on that note, we're gonna end on a very we're gonna end on something that I hope becomes a new bookshelf edition. Fuck, marry, kill, Civil War edition. Let's go.
Oh god.
Karina, this is your idea, so
After I haven't watched the movie, it's like you hate me.
you only have your principal. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bucky Barnes. Go.
Tony, Bucky, other guy.
Who? In which order?
Steve is last.
Fuck, marry,
Steve.
kill. It's the name of the game.
She kills Steve.
Okay, so fucking Tony Stark, marry Bucky, kill Captain America. You communist!
It's the name
What
of the
did Captain
game.
America do?
And come on, Carlos. As of writing, he's not Captain America anymore. He's
Oh.
Captain.
Hydra.
Yes, of course.
Oh, so he finally fulfilled his long-awaited destiny as the perfect Aryan prince.
Gabe, your turn.
Okay, I'll keep this as heterosexual as possible. I'll go with first for Scarlet Witch, second for second for Falcon, and wait, first for Tony Stark. No, wait. Oh god.
No, no take backs. You gotta do the whole thing.
Okay.
So-
So yeah, first for Scarlet Witch, second for Falcon, and third for
No, Tony, Steve, and Bucky.
Oh, among those?
Yeah.
We're keeping this like the hashtag. Okay. Okay. First for Steve, second for Bucky, third for Tony.
You know what? Steve is too pure.
Oh God! Then you marry him.
No, yeah,
Or you kill
no,
him
yeah,
to preserve his
exactly.
purity.
He's too pure of a husbando. So,
That's why I killed him to preserve his purity. Go ahead, spit it out.
keeping the no homo thread.
Oh,
Fuck
whatever.
Tony Stark. Although I am aware that he has the clap. Marry Steve Rogers. Kill Bucky Barnes because he's not going to be used anyway. But yeah. What about Zemo? Nothing on Black Panther? No Spitter Shoda?
No.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna end the show with our integrity kept. What little integrity we have left.
Good call.
Final thoughts?
Not much. Are you guys optimistic about that new Mega Man series?
Okay.
Oh God!
It's for 6 to 9-year-olds.
But you could
And
do a
it's
better
Capcom.
design for 6 to 9-year-olds.
Yeah. But
Every
So-
artist that I followed made a better design of that.
Does it have all the piping that we know and love?
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with Tron Mega Man. It's just doing him in complete CGI Adobe Illustrator and trying to give him the DreamWorks face? No, that's not how it works. And of course, you should have known it was going to be shit. It was revealed it was going to be written by Man of Action. So, yeah,
But,
this was garbage from day one. Garbage from day one.
oh come
called
on, it's
it.
coming out next year. They still have time to work on it.
Yeah, probably within a month. No, it's done. Dead on arrival.
Do you have any? What do we know any direction in particular they're gonna take other than looks?
One, they pretty much rewrote the entire mythology because they can't be bothered to look up a game or a comic book. And they're trying to do. Remember the DreamWorks comic? How Mega Man had a quote unquote secret identity and tried to be a normal high school student?
So he's
Yeah.
Peter Light now.
Yeah, that's the magic formula that Stan Lee and Steve Dixon inadvertently gave us. The magic formula of making a character relatable to a younger audience. Make him Spider-Man. Or Peter Light, as you so called it. Oh, his name is not even Rock. His name is Aki. Cause we got a trip Asian. Can you just call him Rock? No, Aki. It works.
Also, I mean, not gonna lie, yeah, I never called him Rockman, so yeah, I'm okay with that.
No, I call him Rock. I think his real name is Rock Light.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with changing that name. It's not marketable, Carlos.
It didn't work for the Pokemon guy.
What they call him Satoshi in Japan, right? Ash.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No, they call him Satoshi in Japan, Ash Ketchum in America, Red to the purists.
I thought he wasn't Red. I thought Red was the unseen guy who won the tournaments.
Come on. Look at Red. Look at Ash. Ash is red light.
But Red is competent.
Exactly. It's called adaptional incompetency. It's the same thing they did with Simon Belmont back in Captain N. They didn't know shit. They just made up a personality on the spot. Yeah, Ash Ketchum is the Captain N version. There's the new headcanon. Ash Ketchum is the Captain N version of Red from Pokemon.
So he's like pretty much the Nerf made-for-TV version who always has to have a flaw that would, ironically enough, make them completely unable to do the plot of the game.
Yeah. Or oddly enough, that flaw is flanderized over season and season in order for them to reboot the plot of the series in order to match a new game. He is the perpetual newbie. Imagine finally winning the championship, only next season to forget everything and start from normal.
So you're telling me that Ash Ketchum has brain damage?
Yes. I thought that was like the popular theory, that all of this is just a mad dream from a brain damaged coma patient.
But that
was like a dozen years ago.
Yeah, also, that doesn't explain all the new memories and the new Pokemon and the new friends.
That will explain why.
And the character growth.
I think you seriously psychoanalyzing Pokemon when you were in grade school.
That would explain why all the new Pokemon are lame as hell. Except the new ones, apparently, because Edgy Kitty has captured the hearts of everybody. And then he evolves to Shadow the Hedgehog, and everyone hates him.
So yeah, Pokemon is a fitting end to this episode.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. Peace. We're out. We're done. We're brain dead. Good night, everybody.